Cheryl Petruk is working very hard for change. Cheryl is the founder of Heal Canada, which empowers patients, improves healthcare outcomes, and advocates for equitable access to quality healthcare across Canada. And Cheryl's also dedicated to helping the entire myeloproliferative neoplasms community help navigate the incurable rare blood cancer as a result of her own personal experience with a family member having this disease. And Cheryl, welcome back to Life Unrehearsed.
Thank you so very much.
Well, thank you for joining me. And now, when and how did this journey begin for you?
Well, back in 1992, my late husband was diagnosed with a rare blood cancer, a precursor to myelofibrosis, which was called essential thrombocythemia. And in 2010, he progressed to the second part of the disease called myelofibrosis. And really, that's when it started. I really started becoming his advocate when we learned about the disease and learned that it was an incurable disease, and really started to learn as much as I could so that I could be the best caregiver and advocate for him. So I have to say it started way back in 1992.
Well, good for you. And we've had several guests on our show, similar journeys. It's the unknown. This show is called Life Unrehearsed, and you have indeed lived a life unrehearsed, Cheryl. And so tell us a little bit more about myelofibrosis, MPNs, I guess, as it's known as.
Sure, absolutely. So myeloproliferative neoplasms are a rare, incurable blood cancer. There's a whole medical terminology behind it, but really it's akin to a leukemia type of blood cancer, but more rarer. And it will only affect, or it only affects a certain smaller population of Canadians and people worldwide. It's very debilitating. Myelofibrosis is a very debilitating blood cancer where patients can become transfusion dependent, they can have more comorbidities, and it really is, I want to say very debilitating. Quality of life is horrible towards the end stage of this incurable blood cancer.
Listening to Life Unrehearsed, Matt Delvecchio here, and I'm talking to Cheryl Petruk about Heal Canada. We're going to hear a little bit more about that, and specifically her journey with MPNs, which is a rare blood cancer. Now, how did your family, Cheryl, manage throughout this illness?
Well, I want to say that, we, first of all, when my late husband was diagnosed with it, we tried to learn as much as we could about the disease, because it was important for me as his caregiver to understand what was facing not only him as the patient, but us as a family. And our children, our two boys were, older, so it was easier for them to understand. But we really didn't take anything for, how do I say this? We didn't take anything to a point where we celebrated everything. We made sure that, we just lived life, and we celebrated everything that we could in life, because you don't take anything for credit, right? You just, when you know that something is incurable, you sit back and go, oh, well, I'll wait for tomorrow. No, we didn't. We really took life into our own hands and said, okay, we're going to celebrate everything that we can. We're going to, do what we can as a family and learn as much as we can about this disease so that we could help, my husband and my son's father, to be able to live the best life that he could in the time that we knew that he probably would have.
It's so nice to hear. Celebrate every day. So important, as we try to stress this also in Life Unrehearsed. And, you are the founder of Heal Canada. This is an amazing organization that I really want to bring out to our listeners here. And so tell us what led you to the founding of Heal Canada and your mission.
Well, it just taking what I learned with my late husband's journey and being able to apply that to a bigger, broader audience. If I could help advocate for my husband and people in the MPN community, why couldn't I help and take all of that I learned from that journey and help others? And so that's really what was one of the pinnacle reasons of starting Heal Canada, is to be able to empower, engage, and educate others who are maybe traveling, not the exact same journey, but a journey similar to ours, where they've been given a diagnosis, and what do I need to know about my journey? How can I help myself be better, a better patient, a better advocate? How can I help myself live a better life and a better quality of life. We've got a great healthcare system in Canada, but everybody needs to be able to advocate for themselves and know and understand what they're being faced with in that journey. So how do you do that? Well, you empower people, you engage them in being engaged in their own choices in their journey, and you educate them as much as you can on what they're facing and what decisions they may have to make in life.
Talking with Cheryl Petruk, founder of Heal Canada. This is what I love about this, Cheryl, because even though we all have our provincial issues that we're dealing with, you are taking a national perspective and advocating no matter where you are in Canada. And you've got this incredible digital magazine called E3 Advocacy. I was just looking through the latest edition. It just came out in October, issue 5. So pleased to see that several of my colleagues are actually contributing to this. And I had, unbeknownst to me, and including Claire Webster right here in Montreal, and my good friend Stephanie Chan in Vancouver. And you've also got Jeanette Buck in Toronto. So you are truly covering the whole country with E3 Advocacy. First of all, what does E3 stand for?
Empower, engage, and educate. Really those are the three fundamental building blocks in my opinion, in patient advocacy, is to empower patients to live the best life that they can with the diagnosis they've been given, empower them to be able to ask questions of their healthcare practitioners and, the community at large, and really educate people for being a better advocate for themselves or for their community, because it's really important that if you amplify the voice, you will be heard so much better. We don't have to stand up on Parliament Hill and shake our fists, but we need to be able to get the bigger, broader community to hear and understand what Canadians are being faced with when they have a healthcare journey that they've been diagnosed with.
And you are doing a tremendous job trying to, get on that soapbox for all Canadians. Cheryl, how can our listeners find out more about Heal Canada?
They can visit our website, www.healcanada.org. We'd love to have you subscribe to our not only our E3 Advocacy magazine, digital magazine, but also our My Blood, My Health magazine, digital magazine, which focuses on blood health and everything revolving around blood health and how you can, if you're diagnosed with a blood issue, how can you advocate for yourself in that realm? So, visit our website, and we'd love to forward out our magazine, our digital magazine, to anyone who would like to read it and enjoy the information.
Just love it, Cheryl. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, that's Cheryl Petruk, founder of Heal Canada.